What up, y'all? This is Core File Notice Media,
This is Drew.
and we're doing a super special episode of Stream It Just.
Just scream it. Ow, 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 ow.
I got my co-partner here going over some Netflix specials. And
right.
What's so special about Netflix?
So 2 weeks ago maybe now?
Yeah.
They released all of the old school James Bond movies.
Yeah, we've been watching all of the movies.
Like non-stop.
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's tons. I actually have, so if you jump on Netflix, you're going to get Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun, Octopussy, The Living Daylights, The Spy Who Loved Me, Diamonds Are Forever, You Only Live Twice, Goldfinger, Die Another Day, The World Is Not Enough, and Casino Royale. So
No big deal.
we got all those movies on Netflix, and I've always liked 007s. I watched the old ones a lot back in the day, and I'm get to rewatching some of them, so they're lots of fun. But we figured we'd give you we'd go through and we'd tell you our favorite older James Bond, like before GoldenEye.
Yep.
And then our favorite newer James Bond, which would be after GoldenEye.
And the reason we chose GoldenEye is because whenever we think about James Bond, anybody the ages between 25 and 35
Yeah.
are like, oh, I remember in 64 GoldenEye.
Yeah.
That's what I remember of James Bond.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like for people in our age range, GoldenEye is a perfect cutoff between the old and the new, just because GoldenEye on 64 was so freaking amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. And Drew hasn't got a chance to watch GoldenEye, but I don't like the movie as much, which is so weird. I think the game ruined the movie because the game
Really?
was so good and had so much more cooler stuff
You
going
know,
on.
when I was a kid, all we would do is we would set the maps to mines and bombs only.
Yeah, that was
And we
fun.
just play
Just
against
run
each
around
other.
throwing proximity mines everywhere. Yeah.
That's all we did.
Those were super fun days. Oh, man. But for my favorite, and it's hard because the old ones, there's a lot of really, really good older
There-
James Bond movies.
I
And there's a
would
couple really
say
bad
there's
ones
only a
too.
handful for me.
So for me, The Spy Who Loved Me is probably my favorite older James Bond movie.
Wow.
I know, right? It has Douglas Moore. Maybe it's not Douglas Moore. His last name's Moore. I remember that. But I know he's not one of the most famous 007s. He had 4 or 5 movies, but Sean Connery's just a savage. And I do like a lot of the Sean Connery's 007 movies.
Yeah, I gotta say,
but-
The Spy Who Loved Me was his only good movie.
Yeah, you
that
think
he
so?
did.
Yeah.
I think all the other ones that he did were
Yeah.
worse than trash.
Well, I let me look real quick because I want to say it was The Living Daylights. Yeah, The Living Daylights was really bad.
Living Daylights. That's not a
Yeah.
James Bond movie.
Yeah, The Living Daylights. That was a really bad one. And that was
I think you're. Living
Timothy
Daylights.
Dalton. And I'm pretty sure that was the only one that he was in.
That's the only one he did. Yeah.
Yeah. But Live and Let Die was another one of Roger Moore.
Roger.
Live and Let Die was one of Roger Moore's 007 ones, and I did not like that one at all.
You know, whenever I was watching his, because I watched them by who was in them,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So I watched by their series, and from start to finish, I was like, what in the world? This is, all the characters in the movies were pretty bad. The plot lines were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And he just does such a terrible job. He's literally just a good-looking face for the first 2 movies, and that was it.
Dude, no, I'd agree with you because I like the older 007s because they're seem so campy nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, when you said the dude broke in the room and he literally just grabs the girl and puts him in front of her. I'm like, oh my god, he totally just let that girl
Yeah.
die. There's a lot of good. It's funny now. I don't think they were considered funny back then, but there's a lot of stuff that happens where you're like, what's going on here? And I think that's why you know me. I like movies that are
Yeah.
little different, and I really like those movies.
Well, I gotta say though, in that one, what is it called again?
The Spy Who
The
Loved
Spy
Me.
Who Loved Me. The girl in that movie.
Yeah, the Russian spy. She's probably one of the hottest.
She's one of the hottest.
Yeah, probably one of the hottest female actresses of all the 007.
I'll call them James Bond girls.
And I'm going to include Halle Berry in that and everything. Like, like she for sure is probably one of the most attractive ones. And the bad guy. I like Jaws a lot. Like I always like Jaws, but just like rewatching it, I'm like, God damn, Jaws is so badass.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, does Jaws die whenever he puts a magnet to his teeth?
Yeah, he kills Jaws in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I was like...
I'm pretty sure. All these movies like blend after a while.
Probably the 9th time they killed Jaws that he came he came back.
Right. I just, the part that I remember the most in this movie, and you're probably going to roll your eyes at me, is they're in Egypt and they're having like a movie projection, and there's a bunch of people that are watching this movie, or maybe it's like an informative type of thing, and they go off, and James Bond is tailing somebody, and Jaws is tailing that guy. So James Bond is tailing Jaws, and then the Russian girl's tailing him.
Yeah.
And so like the guy's like, he sees Jaws and he like goes to run away. And like as they're walking, like it goes like fireworks are going off, so it's dark, and then it gets bright, and it'll go like a really red tone against it.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, this scene is so good because it's like you see Jaws and then the lights go out and he's gone. And there's a lot of stuff about that movie that I really like. I'm a sucker for stupid cinematography crap like that, though.
I gotta say though, I do take it back. There is one other person in one of his movies that I do like, and that's man, what is his name?
Odd Job? Tell me it's Odd Job.
No.
Man with Golden Gun. I can't remember his actual
little
name.
dude.
The little guy with the hat?
No, the little guy.
Damn it. I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he has a little room that he like tricks people in. He's like a little henchman of the bad guy.
Yeah. Dang it. Oh, like I said, these movies blend once you watch.
He's one of my other
you watch like 6 of them in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And after I discovered that all these James Bond movies are on Netflix, I've seen them all except the newest. The World Is Not Enough. I didn't bother watching
The World Is Not Enough.
because I knew I didn't like that movie, and I watched Die Another Day, and I was like, yeah, I guess. As the Korean guys, and the diamonds blow up in his face, and that's the one that Halle Berry's in.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're okay.
He was okay.
Like, they're alright. But...
Yeah, I gotta say, my favorite old school James Bond is between two. The original, Dr. No, or Goldfinger.
Dr. No is very good, so is Goldfinger.
And I would have to say Goldfinger takes it for me. Like,
yeah, I like...
having pussy galore in a movie, and I'm talking about a person, not lots. Yeah,
the character's name is Pussy Galore. Like, it's so funny.
And having Odd Job and Goldfinger, and then having like Austin Powers based basically off that movie.
Yep.
But also like the opening scene, like you were saying, that's what really like got me. As soon as I started watching it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this movie.
Yeah.
It's like the opening scene, James Bond is getting like snuck in to, and he's trying to get killed by somebody, some henchman, and the dude like tries to hit him, and he moves the girl right in front of him and tosses her to the side, and just knocks her out, and then leaves the room. He's like, oh well.
The Sean Connery ones are so perfectly chauvinistic for that time.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I really like the Sean Connery ones too. Like for that. Like there's like that epic scene that they used, and they used it in Family Guy as a skit. But like Sean Connery's like going, like he like has his hands, he's like holding her like this, and he's like, he says something I can't remember. She's like, "No, James." He's like, "Yes." She goes, "No, James," and he just like kisses her anyway. She's like, "Huh," and it just I'm like, oh my god. But like they were purposely, he's like a chauvinistic spy. Is Sean Connery.
I think
like,
your guy though has the best girl scene.
Yeah.
Do you remember I don't remember which movie it is, but he has a girl that he has, and he has her. I think it's
probably Octopussy, dude.
No, I think it's The Spy Who Loved Me. He has the Russian girl, I think.
Yeah, because The Spy Who Loved Me is the Russian spy
I think it was
girl.
her, and she's like in his bed, and they're like getting ready, and then somebody sneaks in, and he's like hides her under the covers, and it's another girl that comes in, and wants to talk to him about killing one of the bad. It was the guy with the little guy as the bad guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh man!
And then he sends the girl that was under the covers into his closet while he bangs the other girl. And then he opens up the closet in the morning and he goes, "Well, you'll have your turn."
God. There's so many good parts.
No.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're perfect little timepieces, and like he's a badass spy, and he does what he wants.
Yeah.
All the ladies love him, and
Gold-
it's hilarious.
Goldfinger was good though. Like, just everything about it. Like, from getting Goldfinger as like a mission, and him like already being there, and then like.
And that's a cool little story too, because
Yeah.
he's like, he's like a big businessman. Like he looks like he appears kind of squeaky clean, but they know he's up to something. And it turns out he has this whole gold scheme that's going on. And then plus the beginning where
and not only the twist, like the whole time you're thinking, okay, well he's just trying to steal the gold to go sell it to another country to make more money, but no, he's trying to break into the vault to poison the gold to make his gold more valuable. And I was like. That's genius.
They're like totally okay with like mass killing all the fucking people that are over on what's the place where you put all the gold? Fort Knox?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like fucking kill all of the people at Fort Knox. And they just come like, man. Like it's crazy too, because those movies were like actually like pretty brutal. Like they weren't too bad. Like a lot of the murdering, like I remember in that scene, like a lot of the murdering was done off screen. You know, like they'd have like the did he have Russians on his team when they went to Fort Knox? Or was that like, that was the one where like he gathered all like the crime bosses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like the crime bosses are all dressed up and they have their henchmen and they're all dressed up in military outfits and they roll up to the front gate and they're like, say something. Hey, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, well there's a and then it just shows them. And then like cuts back and all these guys like laying on the floor with no blood dead. And it's like, oh man, I miss stuff like that. They're really nostalgic. I think that's probably what it is.
I think, and Dr. No is a great bad guy.
He really is.
And it's just a great opening. I mean, it's not the very first James Bond because they had like I think the very first James Bond was basically like a skit on TV.
Yeah.
In like the 1950s. And that's kind of what made
I think it was like
Bond.
58 or something. It was like late 50s.
Yeah, it was like
58 or something.
I think it was
around
19
that.
something. But
Test us.
yeah, it was such a good movie.
Yeah.
Like Dr. No was a really good one too, but yeah. You know, something that I realized kind of like going into the new ones is how much like we're talking about like the chauvinistic like
how much that's lost
I'm
now.
a punk.
Yeah.
Like I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
That's all gone.
It really is. Like
He like well, even the new ones, he like falls in love with every single girl in all.
Yeah. It's like they always fall in love with the girl, and before it was like, no, I'm on my mission, and you're just a part of my mission. You know,
I think. And The Spy Who Loved Me, I think they kind of sum it up at the very end perfectly. And then whenever they catch the two together, and he goes, "I'm holding up the British side."
Yeah, right. That's serious.
And now they'd be like, "What are you doing?" He'd be like, "I have weakness now."
Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I think like steered the whole James Bond into a different direction when he literally started falling in love with all like the love interests.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of the older ones where he developed feelings, but it was like when it was over, it was over. When the movie was over, it was over. You know?
Yeah, and not only that, like in all the old ones, he was just using the girls.
Yeah. Yep.
And it kind of works the same way in the new one, in the new like 3 that just came out, but as much as he's using the girl, it turns into more.
Yeah. So what's your favorite post GoldenEye?
GoldenEye is Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, you really like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, I haven't, Casino Royale is on Netflix, and I've seen that so many times, but I was really trying, because the Daniel Craig ones are really, really good.
He's a great James Bond.
Yeah, like we were discussing earlier how, like, comparing the new Daniel Craig 007s to the old 007s is like comparing the Christopher Nolan Batmans to the old Batmans.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the old ones are really, really good, but the new ones are like on a different level. And I feel that
Yeah.
way with the new James Bonds too.
What? Shoot. Yeah.
Like they're very, very good. Casino Royale was super good.
Daniel
I
Craig.
liked Spectre a lot.
You know, I think Spectre was his worst one.
Yeah,
To
really.
me.
I like that they killed M. I like
Yeah.
when they kill off major characters in
Well,
these because it
Casino
happens.
Royale really had the James Bond feel to me because
did.
it was like gambling, like
Yeah.
bad guy and
It's
henchman.
like the underbelly
random
what
girl.
James Bond does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like it had everything.
Yeah.
I think Casino Royale was that the same one whenever they go to the house out in the woods, or is that one of the newer ones?
Ooh, the house in the woods. I don't know.
His original house, like where he grew up.
I don't think so.
And then the house blows up. Is that Casino Royale?
I
or
don't
is
think that was
one of the newer
Casino
ones?
Royale. I might be wrong because it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's now refresh my memory. True.
Okay.
Spectre is the one where they kill M and the bad guy has the thing in his mouth.
And he takes it
And
out.
when he pulls the thing out of his mouth, his whole face sags because of the
Yeah.
cyanide pill. Yeah, Spectre is the newest one. Is that the newest James
the
Bond?
newest James
no
Bond.
shit, and I like that one. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Normally I don't like newer movies, but no, I like that one. It was pretty. It seemed dismal and kind of dirty, and
Yeah, that
like
was the
you're
newest one.
dealing with a betrayed agent. Like GoldenEye did that too, but it was good old guy who always dies.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, yeah, good old Sean Bean, guy who always dies at the end, and he betrays the one too. But this one was just done. I just feel that Spectre was just done so much better. But yeah,
It's so interesting, like just the little things. To me, like the thing that I like about James Bond is like kind of the cookie cutter James Bond movie.
yeah,
Like what it originally based
Yeah.
off of, and then like you're like, no, that's why he loved me and Spectre. I'm like, dang, I think like The Spy Who Loved Me was definitely the best of his movies. But Spectre, I think, was the worst of Daniel Craig's movies, like 100%.
it just shows how all over I am with things that I like. But yeah, that's it for me. Do you have anything else to add on the?
Let us know what your
But-
favorite James Bond is in the comments down below. And don't forget,
Like,
comment.
subscribe,
And don't forget to put that little bell on.
hit
So
the
you can know
bell.
when we
See, they can't be doing that shit though, dude. Games never used to do that. Literally, this is me playing one of the levels. Load time, 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Gameplay time, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Ready, set,